Hello friends. Okay, in this video we're going to talk about how you get to $1,000,000 by working, saving, and investing. Now, this is a better plan, right? So a better plan is all about how you do things yourself. You do tactical steps, you know how to manage your money by using basic math, and you actually work towards a goal, in this case, the $1,000,000 goal. So that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to look at what the math is and what the options are to get to that magic number. Let's get started. Okay, first, I just wanted to say that in the Better Plan book, there's no kind of like how to get to $1,000,000 chapter because a Better Plan book is about saving to goal. So it's about saving for college, saving for house, going those various steps. And then if you're not in the current chronological position of starting early, how do you jump in at whatever particular point in your life that you're at? So if you're looking at the Better Plan book for how to make $1,000,000 or how to get $1,000,000, you're not going to find that specific information, but you'll see the trajectory over time of how you're saving for retirement, which is the goal, right? So just a reminder, you can get the Better Plan book by Case Lane anywhere ebooks are sold. And on my website, I got a deal for you, readyentrepreneur.com/a better plan book. So let's look at how to get to $1,000,000. That's the magic number. Now, in a better plan, we're always looking at numbers, right? We do math. We're trying to figure out how you work, save, and invest in yourself for specific goals. And this one being the $1,000,000 goal, which people are always asking about. That's why I wanted to put this video in. It's not in the book, but you guys ask about it, so here it is. Okay, you remember our four friends. Min, Liv, Trey, and Manj, they all make different amounts of money based on education and skill, right? So how long does it take to earn, just through wages, $1,000,000 if you're making federal minimum wage working 40 hours a week? That only takes you 72 years, okay? And then you can see, again, depending on your wage level over time, it would take somebody who's in management, a professional earning at least $50 an hour just to earn, like in terms of adding up every single one of your paychecks, it would take 10 years. Then you consider your life expectancy. Everybody has the same average life expectancy for women in the United States. So what percentage of your lifetime does it take to earn that amount of money? Well, if you're Min, it takes almost all of your life to get there. Although you do get there before you die. It takes Liv about half of your life, Trey about a quarter, and Manj, closer to a tenth of her life. So this is where we always start, right? You set a goal and you run the numbers. And you take a look at where you are on the wage scale. And if that's your goal to get to $1,000,000, if this is how long it takes to actually earn that money, just earn it. Not take into consideration everything you have to spend on living. Then what are you going to do to get there? Okay? Well, you've got a better plan. So you work, you save, and you invest in yourself. If you truly want to set that goal, if you truly want to make that work, now you want to get to that point where you've got $1,000,000 sitting in the bank or in your brokerage account, then you work and save and invest in yourself. Remember, a better plan, we're not doing get rich quick. We're not doing magical elixirs. We're not doing secret schemes. If you win the lottery or inherit, good for you. You can watch the rest of the videos or move on. For most of us who are just have the resources we have in front of us, our options then are ourselves. Like your option is yourself, your ability, your personal responsibility, your self-sufficiency. I wouldn't recommend waiting on anyone to help you out. I wouldn't recommend waiting on the government or some magical new program or anything like that. Could happen, doesn't matter. When you focus on yourself and what you can do, guess what? You get there anyway. Doesn't matter if something else happens in the background, good or bad, because you're planning and you're focused and you've run the numbers and you know what you need to do, and so you do it for yourself, and that's how you move forward. So we always use math. You can use just the basics as we get to the calculation of what it takes to get you to your 1 million. You start with your incoming. What kind of money do you have coming in? Money that you can use towards getting to that number. For most of us, it's wages. And for our 4 friends in this Better Plan video series, it's wages. We don't talk about anything else, but you could also have bonuses. Maybe every time you get a bonus, you stick it into your $1 million fund and you don't spend it. How about that for a change? Extra hours. If you're in a position where you could work extra hours for extra money, you could put all the extra hours above 40 hours a week into your $1 million fund. Providing value. What else could you be doing? What other type of work could you be doing? Could you be teaching somebody on the weekends how to do something that you know how to do? Paint, shovel snow, mow the lawn, uh, or something even more, more challenging. Like, I shouldn't say mowing the lawn is not challenging, but building websites, managing the books. What do you do that other people want to know how to do? If you can provide value, if you can figure out a way to provide value to people, you could have a little side hustle and put all that extra money into your $1 million fund. You can monetize your assets. If you have a spare room that you can rent out on Airbnb, if you have a car you want to drive on the weekend as an Uber driver or Lyft or any of the other car sharing services, if you have clothing you want to rent out, you can monetize the things that you already own and put all that extra money in your $1 million fund. And then just your savings and investments. When you get interest returns on savings, do you just plow it back in? Maybe that's the money that goes into your $1 million fund instead. So take a look at, first of all, where's your money going to, where is it coming from now, and where's it going to come from as you try and get to that $1 million number? Then outgoing. Oh, this one's going to hurt, right? Where is the money going? For most of us, that big ticket item is shelter, right? What your housing, your mortgage payment, your rent. You've got food, clothing, transportation, education, healthcare. You should put in here debt payments, right? Interest payments, because a lot of people have that too. But there's a lot of different places where your money is going. And some of these are absolutely critical. You have to pay them, and some are not. And you know which ones are not, and that's where you're going to be starting to think, well, what would you rather have? Would you rather have whatever you are discretionarily, is that a word, spending your money on? Or would you rather have your $1 million fund? Is the $1 million fund a real goal, or is it just a dream? You have to decide. Because what you're going to do now is make a portion of your money unseen. Unseen to you in the sense that you're not going to look at it. You're not going to let yourself know that it's there, because that's the money you're putting away. So hide a percentage. Make the incoming you keep smaller to yourself. Don't go and ask for a deduction in salary. Take your, if you get your salary automatically deposited, automatically also withdraw some percentage of it that it goes into a fund somewhere, and just don't look at it. Just assume, you don't get that money. So one way to do this that is very popular that people do is whenever they get a raise, they take the new amount, the difference between the new amount and the old amount, and put that away. So you're still living off the old amount. And it doesn't feel so bad if you're still living off the old amount. It feels bad when you try and reduce. So look at some of those tricks and see where you can make your incoming smaller to yourself, not to the outside world, just to you. Make your outgoing smaller. This is also to you. What can you cut back on? Because you want to widen the gap between incoming and outgoing for your $1 million fund. And again, you're not really cutting back forever. You're kind of delaying gratification. So let's say you decide, instead of buying your new shirt for $100 this year, you'll buy next year. So put that $100 into your $1 million fund, and maybe next year you roll it over again for another year. You decide. But this saving and investing the difference is how you're going to grow that money into your $1 million fund, right? So if you can figure out how to make your incoming smaller to you, make your outgoing smaller, and you save and invest the difference. You can also make your incoming bigger while holding the original amount visible to you. And this is what we talked about before. Find a way to deliver value. Extra sources of income. Can you coach or teach for money? Identify your skills. What do other people want to learn? What could they learn from you? And could you start charging for that? And building up a little side hustle. Could you start an online business? Is there information that you look at all the time online that's not really well organized? Could you turn that into a good business where you create a website, for example, that aggregates all that information together and you become a source that people go to? As soon as you drive eyeballs to your website, you have an opportunity to monetize because you can sell ads. It's just like a television network. The more eyeballs you can get on the content, the more ads you can sell. So you could do the same with an online business and put all those extra dollars into your $1 million fund. And we talked about monetizing your assets. What's lying around unused? What's the spare room, the car, the clothes? What else do other people want that you're sitting on that you could then turn into something that brings you money that goes directly into getting you to $1 million? Okay? So now you build your account. So remember what you're going to do. Either make your incoming smaller to yourself by putting a percentage away, make your outgoing smaller by deferring gratification or just deciding you don't want to buy stuff anymore, and you save and invest the difference by putting that in your fund. You identify extra sources of income. You can add value, start a business, you can monetize your assets. Any extra dollar that you get out of this goes into your fund. Okay? So what does that look like? Isn't this a fun chart? Are you following me here? You know I love numbers. Okay. You've set the number of years that it takes you to get to $1 million. So these are the numbers. So in this case, we're looking from 5 to 25 years. And that's the number of months. By investing a certain amount from $10,000 to $15,000 a month, okay? We're assuming a 5% return. That's our usual thing. Our 5% annual return on $10 a month after 5 years gets you to $700. That's pretty far away from $1 million, right? And you can see what the story is here. It's either a question of time. If you've got 25 years and $2,000 a month to put away, you'll hit your $1 million target after that amount of time. If you've only got 5 years, but you've got $15,000 a month to put away, you'll hit your $1 million target. So, how much time do you have? How much time do you want to have? How much time can you realistically set? How much can you put away? And then you can figure out how much you have left. That, how much when you could figure out when you'll get to your $1 million goal. Okay? So let me say that again. So what you figure out is the number of years. This is either how much time you want to take or just know you'll take to get to $1 million and the number of months. Then the amount you have available to invest. If you only have $10 to start, at least start at $10. You can raise it to 100, go there. If you can get it to 2,000, go there. The reason I made this jump here is just to show you that if you do $2,000 a month for 25 years, you'll get to your 1.2 million. Okay, so if you're on a 25-year time frame, you got to get your amount up to 2,000. And remember, it's not just based on your salary. You could be saying right now, I only have $1 left over with my current wages. But remember all the different things we talked about to earn more money. So that all of that extra, every last penny of it has got to go into that $2,000 a month being put away. All right, if you're going to go 20 years, then you need 3,000. If you're going 15 years, you need 4,000, 10, so on. Then it's a jump. If you're going to go 10 years, you need 7,000. If you're going to just go 5 years, you need 15,000. If you can think of a way to get an extra 15,000 a month for the next 5 years, you'll get to your $1 million. But again, we're trying to be realistic here. So what's your best option? What's your best option? It's somewhere in here, right? Maybe somewhere between $100 and 2,000 is how much you can get to. In that case, then somewhere in here, somewhere within 20 25 years or so, you'll get there, right? So you have to think about your time frame and the dollar amount. If you want to increase the dollar amount so that you can shorten the time frame, then you look at all the other options for make more money, even if you're just going from the $10 to $100, right? Or from the 100 to maybe to 1,000. Maybe you can get there with a side hustle, teaching or something like that. Then that's what you want to do. So remember, this is a better plan. We work, we save, we invest. If you set a goal that you want to get $1 million, which is what so many of you say you want, $1 million. So you set that goal and you figure out how much you can put away, and then you can determine how much time it's going to take you. And if it's too much time, if you don't like how long it's going to take you, then you have to increase the amount you're going to put away each month. And if you don't think you can ever get to these numbers, that's fine. Start somewhere. Always, always, always start somewhere. Because with a better plan, you can start anytime. It's not about, being a 10-year-old and investing your first allowance check. Or I guess it's not a check, but investing your allowance. It's about being a better planner who wants to be self-sufficient, who wants to get to a really good and comfortable life, who wants to live without financial fear. And so even if you're deeply in debt, but you figure out now that you want to be a better planner, then at least you can get started and you can start moving yourself away from where you've been to where you really want to be in the future. Think financial freedom. That's what this is all about. And financial freedom means just not worrying about where the money's coming from and how you're going to live in the future and how you're going to pay the bills. Yes, it's the hard road because it's working all the time as much as you can squeeze out of it so you can just get money coming in as much as possible and putting it down on all the different things you need to put it down on. Maybe in the beginning it's putting it down on paying off debt, or it's putting it down on getting an education so that you can get a higher salary. But it's always temporary. If that's what it is in the beginning, it's temporary. Once you get over those humps, then everything coming in is hitting your future and getting you towards that lifestyle you really want. It doesn't make sense to sort of sit around and say, oh, woe be me, it's so sad, I'm never going to get there. At least get started, at least try, at least make some effort so that you can see what you are capable of. And if you have a better plan, you're a better planner, you are thinking like that. You're thinking, all right, I have a goal and I've done the math and I know how long it would take me, so I'm going to start here. And I realize, if I start at $10, I'm not going to get there. So I incrementally have to get more. So I'm just going to start building towards that. And it gives you purpose in life. It gives you something to do, besides complain. Instead of complaining, now you've got goals and you've got ideas and you can move forward. And that's what you really want in your life so that you can feel, free and that you can really enjoy the life that you have. So let's get you all onto a better plan. Hope you enjoyed this video. You can get the Better Plan book wherever ebooks are sold, or there's a deal for you at my website, readyentrepreneur.com/a better plan book. You can get a discounted price there. If you want to go through the details, send me your questions. If you see something in the book or something in the videos you have questions about, if there's a topic you want to focus on, let me know. Put comments in the video. Send me an email, contactcase@readyentrepreneur.com, so that we can get to all these issues that everybody is talking about and we can get everybody moving forward on their better plan lives. Thanks to all the folks who make awesome resources available for free online. Better planners love to use the resources we can find and give credit where credit is due. Thanks for watching the video. We'll see you in the next one.